Hello and welcome to The Homemade Songwriter. I'm Matt, and today I want to talk about something that I don't think a lot of people talk about when it comes to writing songs, and hopefully it'll be an encouragement to you in your songwriting journey. So let's first talk about the process of writing a song. If you followed this channel for any length of time, you know that we think that the writing process starts outside of the writer's room. The way you live your life, the lens through which you see the world should be a songwriting lens where you're gathering ideas, gathering song titles and lyric ideas and capturing them somewhere in a list, preferably on your phone, something that you have with you at all times. You're also capturing music ideas. Any chance a melody pops in your head, you know, while you're showering, you pop out of the shower, make a voice memo. Or if you're playing your guitar, you come up with a little chord progression or something, record it. So you're constantly gathering and capturing ideas outside the writer's room. Then when it actually comes down to time to write a song, you sit down, you get your guitar, your cup of coffee or whiskey or whatever it is that you want to do in your writer's room, and you dig through those lists, find something that inspires you. It could be that you sit down and you have a new idea and you want to write something brand new. That's great. But a lot of times we come to a writer's room and we're stuck. Well, what am I going to write about? So that's why all that stuff outside of the writer's room alleviates that pressure, is because you can sit down, pull up both lists, so your music ideas, pull up your lyric ideas, and then just say, I want to do this one, and match them together. So you begin to write the song, right? You're kind of playing the chords, you're mumbling nonsense, and hopefully hearing some words of what could be and more new ideas, in addition to the ideas that you already started with. And eventually a lyric idea forms and you write it down, and then you are searching through Rhyme Zone, you're creating follow-up lines, and before you know it you have a verse and a chorus and another verse, and then you decide if you need a bridge, you write a bridge, and by the end of it you have a new song. It's finished, a brand new finished song. And I always find it so interesting when I finish a song to look back to where I started. I started with a song seed that said this and a musical idea that was like this, and I put them together. And at the end of it, it's a finished song, but it's greater than the sum of its parts, right? There's always, to me, a little bit of magic in songwriting that kind of glues the song together in a way that I can't explain. Or there's something that happened during the process where it was like, man, I don't know where that inspiration came from. I don't know where that kind of creative magic happened, but that happened, and now that's it made the song better. It made the song what it is. Something that's outside of just me and the guitar, right? That's one of the reasons I love songwriting so much, is because there's always that mystery of something that feels bigger than what it is. It's just magic. Same thing to me when you put a band together and there's, a singer, a guitar player, a piano player, a bass player, and a drummer. But when they all play at the same time, the music that you hear is greater than the sum of its parts. There's some kind of, the way the frequencies match together, it's a magic. I don't know another word to say, but it just sounds magical, It's just something you can't explain, obviously, because I'm doing a terrible job explaining it. And this is where the point of the video comes in. Then you forget everything. You put that song down, you go through life, you come to your next writing session, you sit down to write another song, and it's like you've never written a song before. There's just this empty brain feeling of like, how do I do this? What, can I even write a song? And yeah, there's like a vague deja vu of I've been here before kind of feeling, where it's like, yeah, I've strummed my guitar and been looking through Rhyme Zone for a rhyme to the word love. But there's also this really overwhelming feeling of like, oh, I'm an imposter. I got lucky when I wrote that last song, and I don't think I know how to write a song. And I think a large part of that feeling of I don't know what I'm doing comes from the fact that when you actually do write a song, there's a part of it that feels like luck or feels like magic of, I don't know how that achieved that final product, but it did. And so when you sit down to do it again, it's like, well, I don't know how do I repeat something that I don't even know what I did in the first place? But I just want to let you know that you're not alone in that. I think that's someone that everyone who's ever written a song can experience. No matter how many songs and how long you've been songwriting, I think there's still an element of sitting down and being like, what am I doing? How do I take, this idea and develop it into a song? And yeah, there's tips and tricks and things that as you go through the process and do it hundreds and hundreds of times, you learn best practices, really the best practices for you. You learn what works for you and how to accelerate your own songwriting process. But in general, there's this just sense of like, do I, have I written a song before? How do I do this? So let me just encourage you that this happens, that this will happen to you if you're just starting out, but it doesn't mean that, oh, you're not a songwriter. It means you're normal. I think the more songs you write, there'll be a sense of confidence that you get. I know I sense that whenever I write more songs, especially when I've written a lot of songs in a shorter period of time, I get this confidence of, hey, I just wrote a song, I know I can do it again. Even if I'm feeling that imposter syndrome feeling, I can look back and say, I've written 100 songs. I know I can write number 101. But even that confidence, I think, is more of a head knowledge than it is a heart knowledge. There might be still that anxiety feeling of, I don't know what I'm doing. A couple things you can do to alleviate that feeling in general, I think, are number one, have song seeds. If you enter the writing room and you already have a jumping off place, it makes it much easier to not get lost in your thoughts right away. The times when I've experienced that the most is when I'm trying to just walk into a writer's room cold and start and make something new. And that can be really overwhelming. And so if I come into a writer's room and I've got, hey, I know I'm going to write about this, or I've got this song title and I've got this chord progression, then I immediately start just going down that road. I don't even have time to think, oh man, how am I going to do this? Another way to combat that feeling, I think, is to co-write. Co-writing is one of the best things I can recommend to you, especially if you're just getting started. Two heads are always better than one, and that's especially true in songwriting. If you're going into the writer's room and you are experiencing that feeling, but there's someone else there, maybe they're not feeling it that day, at least you can bounce ideas off each other and get going. And again, the sooner you can get into the process and start building some momentum in your songwriting, the sooner that thought can kind of leave your brain. You can just go back into, feeling and writing. And the last thing I would say is that finishing songs, even if they're bad, I would say finish it, because the more songs you finish, the more confidence you'll have that you can finish another one. I've written quite a few songs, and there's still periods where I have, major writer's block or something, where I feel like I don't know how to write a song and I'll never write another song again. But as soon as I break through that and I'm willing to just write a song, even if it's bad, usually that opens up that creative valve and I'm able to keep writing new songs. Because even if it wasn't that great of a song, it's just another song in the pile of songs that I've written, which to me gives me confidence of I've done it before, I can do it again. Because even, not every song you're going to write is going to be good. I hope that's obvious to you, but it wasn't obvious to me. I didn't want to finish the song if it was bad, because I wanted every song I wrote to be great. But newsflash to me from 10 years ago, even the ones I thought were great were pretty trash. So be willing to, write a cheeseball song, a bad song, and just get it out and then keep moving down the road. If you write 100 songs, I'm sure at the very least 10 of them are going to be awesome. So I hope that's encouraging to you. If you want some help writing some songs and getting some song seeds, check the description. I've got a link to 30 songwriting prompts to jumpstart your creativity, as well as our chord progression cheat sheet guide. Both of those are free, and I think they're going to be a big help to you. So don't forget to grab those. And if you got any questions, please leave those in the comments. We would love to answer them and help you in any way we can in your songwriting journey. But that's it for this video. Keep writing. We'll see you in the next one.